Hello, just going through an example of how to prove a trigonometric identity. First thing you're going to do is separate it into left side and right side. So the left side of the equation is secant squared x plus cosecant squared x. And the right side of the equation is cosecant squared x over cos squared x. So the first step in these, usually almost always the first step, would be switch everything to sine and cos. So I know that secant is a reciprocal trig function. So secant will be 1 over cos squared. So 1 over cos squared x plus cosecant squared x is cosecant is 1 over sine x. So it would be 1 over sine squared x. On the right side of the equation, I'm going to have cosecant is 1 over sine squared. So I'm going to have 1 over sine squared x all over cos squared x. Now, this, when you've got a fraction divided by a fraction, looks kind of weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it as 1 over sine squared x divided by cos squared x. So I just changed that big fraction sign into a division sign, and then it makes it a little easier. So now I know when I'm dividing fractions, I have to invert and multiply. So if I treat this as cos squared x over 1, and then I multiply, so this would be 1 over sine squared x times 1 over cos squared x, and then just multiplying fractions, so top times top, bottom times bottom. 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 over sine squared x times cos squared x would be sine squared x cos squared x. And I don't think there's anything else I can do with the right side, and it doesn't match the left side yet, so I'm not done my proof. But if I look at the left side, I've got a fraction plus a fraction. So usually when you see this situation, what you want to do is find a common denominator. So the common denominator here would just be cos squared x, sine squared x, or order doesn't matter when you're multiplying. So I'm going to make it sine squared x, cos squared x, and plus sine squared x, cos squared x. And for the numerators, what did I do to cos squared x to get, or what did I multiply cos squared x by to get sine squared x, cos squared x? So I had to multiply cos squared x by sine squared x. So I'm going to multiply 1 times sine squared x on the top. So I'm going to have sine squared x on the top. What did I multiply sine squared x to get? Sine squared x, cos squared x. I had to multiply it by cos squared x. So I'm going to multiply 1 times cos squared x on the top. Okay, and then it's just adding fractions. So you add the tops. So sine squared x plus cos squared x all over. I don't add the denominators, they're just the same. I'm just counting how many of those I have. So sine squared x, cos squared x. Now it's similar to the right side now, but I'm not done yet. I've got one more step. If I look at the top, sine squared x plus cos squared x, that is the Pythagorean identity. So that's equal to 1. So I'm going to have 1 over sine squared x, cos squared x, and ta-da! We've got left side equals right side. So therefore, left side equals right side, and we are done. I hope that helps.